Hello everyone and welcome to today's CTO Technology Webinar. My name is Rosy King and I am the CEO and Training Director at Corporate Training Options. And we provide business transformation and change management training for organisations who are incorporating Microsoft Teams and Office 365. Today's technology webinar is going to be focused on Microsoft Teams and how to set up meetings in Teams. So let's start by sharing the screen. There we go. And from here you can see my Microsoft Teams meeting screen, my Microsoft Teams screen. Okay, so currently I'm in chat and what I'm going to cover today is three parts of Microsoft Teams meetings. The first part is, should I use Microsoft Teams meetings or should I use Zoom? Now, the answer to that is that once you have implemented Microsoft Teams into your organisation and started to really get involved in the technology available, you'll start to understand that to go out of Microsoft Teams and into Zoom really doesn't make any sense. The meetings availability and functionality within Microsoft Teams allows you to meet with people who you're already working with, collaborating with, who are members of teams that you are members of. So to go out of Teams and into Zoom doesn't really make much sense. Secondly, there's the cost. Microsoft Teams is incorporated in Microsoft 365. Zoom is a separate software package, and at a corporate level there are costs involved in running it. Secondly, we're going to look at how you run a quick meeting in Microsoft Teams. So if you're working with a group of people and you just want to jump online and have a chat, there's a couple of ways to do it, like there always is in every software package we've ever used. So here I am at the moment, I'm in a chat with Blake, and if we're typing away messages here and then suddenly I go, you know, this is too hard, I'm just going to call him, I can just go to the top of my screen here and I can either do a video call or an audio call through those two buttons at the top of the screen. Another way that I can run a quick meeting is if I'm actually working in the Teams channels themselves. So here I am in the marketing team in the general channel, and I say to my team, let's do a quick chat online. And I can from there jump down here to the bottom of the screen where the video call is and do a meet now from there. So I'm going to do team meeting, give it a name, quick chat. This might just be a meeting you want to do on the fly with your team out of the blue. So meet now. And what that will do is launch the meeting for me and suggest the people who are also in that team that I'm working in. So I'm going to invite them to join me in this really quick meeting. Asked to join. So I'm just clicking on the ellipses next to their name. It gives them a call through Microsoft Teams and then they join me in the meeting. So I can see Blake and Nikki have now joined the meeting and we can chat, talk and do what we need to do from there. So I'm going to hang up from that meeting now. The third thing I'd like to know you about running meetings, like to show you about running meetings in Microsoft Teams, is to schedule meetings. So over here on the left-hand side of my Teams panel is the calendar. I'm going to go to my calendar and I'm going to go down and organise a team meeting for next week. So from the top here, I'm going to go new meeting. And that will open up the meeting screen for me. I'm going to add a title. Add who my required attendees are. I've also got the option here on the right-hand side to add optional attendees. So there might be some people who are always going to be part of your meetings, but then you do have the option to add extras who may only attend sometimes. You can choose the time of your meeting. So for this one, because I have a very busy schedule and just for the demonstration for today, I'm going to make it at 8 o'clock at night. There we go. And it's going to run for half an hour. Obviously, I can change this at any time. Does the meeting repeat? Yes or no? So just in this drop-down box, I say, yes, I'd like to do this weekly. And who is it going to be with? So I'm going to add the channel that I'm working with. So in this instance, it's my marketing team and the general channel in the marketing team. Add a location. So this one is an online Teams meeting Obviously, the location may be in an online meeting room where you have technology set up that allows you to not only meet locally with people within your organisation, but from that meeting room to have an online meeting with remote staff. Details for the new meeting. So we're going to put up an agenda, and we can have a couple of items on our agenda. You've got sort of basic functionality in your agenda area here to make it a bullet point, etc. Things that you can play with there. All right. Now the scheduling assistant, this allows you, if you have people who are regularly attending meetings up the top here of your screen, to check that they're actually available in the time slot that you want them to be. So that's there for you. I will then, now that the meeting's all set up, I will then send the invitations to the meeting, and I can see here that that's putting the team meeting in place for the upcoming weeks. There we go. Okay, now once our meeting's actually ready to run, I'm going to click on the meeting and I'm going to join. There we go, join now. All right, so here we are in the Teams environment and in the meeting environment. So what are the options I've got available when I'm running a meeting? Sitting in the middle of my screen is this bar of information, and on the right-hand side, I can show participants. So you can see who has been invited to the meeting, who's currently joined the meeting. I'm not actually going to make this live just for the purpose of demonstrating this to you. Come back to that again. Share my screen. Oh, I've lost Microsoft Teams. There we go. All right. Just a few technical difficulties there. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to show my participants in the meeting. I have the ability up here to invite someone externally to the meeting if I would like to. I can type in their email address here, or I can copy the link and email it to them to attend the meeting. I can show conversations, so we can have a meeting chat running here. And I'm not sure what's happened to my video there. The other thing we can do is share files in the screen. So for instance, I can see my desktop, I can see the team meeting window, I can load a PowerPoint and run a PowerPoint as part of my meeting, and I can also access the whiteboard. So when you're in the middle of a meeting, if you wanted to do some freehand work with whiteboards, we can share the whiteboard here, and everybody who's in the team meeting can access the whiteboard and do some freehand drawing. It's fairly straightforward. You've got, a number of different pens we can use. We can put some information across the screen. And if you wanted to put data in and then remove it, there's an eraser here, and you can actually just remove it again. So fairly straightforward whiteboard. When you're ready to stop presenting in your whiteboard, you just click near the bottom of the screen here and stop presenting. There we go. Okay. This is very disconcerting, not having the video working. All right, so raise your hand. If you're part of the meeting and you wanted to raise your hand, Microsoft Teams does give us the ability to have up to 9 people showing on the screen at the moment, and we can, very shortly, we can have up to 49. So if we wanted to raise our hand, then that's available for us there if you're in a large meeting. More actions available for us. We can show meeting notes. I'm just going to see if I can, I'm going to pause for one moment and see if I can get this video working again. Just won't be a moment. Okay. Okay, so I think we're just going to have to end this meeting and start again, see if that will fix the problem for us. Go back to the calendar, start our meeting and join. There we go. Technical problems always part of being in technology. Okay, so where were we up to? So show the meeting notes. So meeting notes are a little bit different to regular chat. This is where if you're running a meeting, you can actually, as a group, take notes. There we go. You've got the ability, again, as you have in all Microsoft software, to do, so this might be add a few different areas, etc. And you can copy, move up and down and play with your notes as part of the meeting. All right. What else have we got? We've got the ability to record our meetings. Now, this is very helpful if you have teams, members of your team who haven't been able to make it to today's meeting but would like to see what went on. So you can simply come here and start recording your meeting. You'll notice across the top you get a note that you are recording this meeting and people in the meeting need to be aware of your organisation's privacy policy so that our meeting is now on record. We can also have live captions. Now, by turning on your live captions, you will actually get a transcript of what you're saying in the meeting appearing across the bottom of the screen in English. Very helpful for people who might have joined your meeting from a remote location and they're in quite a noisy environment, so they maybe can't hear everything that's going on in the meeting as well as they could. So by turning on your transcript button, it allows them to hear and read what's going on in the meeting. You just have to be very careful when you're using this that you speak clearly. I have seen some very funny examples of the software not quite deciphering what people have said. Okay, there's a keypad available. If you wanted to, at any time, invite people externally through a phone call into your meeting, you can do that by calling them directly from within the meeting. We've also got the ability to turn on incoming video on and off when you're running the meeting. You may want to have a presenter who is simply the only one available on the screen, and that allows them to be the main presenter. Okay, one of the main advantages of having team meetings is that you can also share files. So what I'm going to do here is in our online chat, there we go, is drag a file in. There we go. Don't know if that worked or not. Try that again. There we go. Now this Word document is now available to everyone in the team, and we can open it and work on it together. So I could be working on it and other people could. So one of the really good benefits of collaboration using meetings in Microsoft Teams. Okay, the final thing I wanted to show you is, I've come in and out of meetings today. There we go, is your background effects. Now, these are quite important, particularly at the moment where a lot of people are working from home, working remotely, and you may not necessarily be in the most professional business environment in your home. So having background effects means that you can choose a background and apply it, and it's going to put you in a slightly different environment and give you perhaps a slightly more professional background. There's a number of them available here to choose from. and you can apply those. If you would prefer to not have a background, you've also got here on the top right hand side the ability to simply blur the background behind you. There we go. And you can, again, things can be going on behind you, dogs can be running, children could be there, but we're not going to see it. If you wanted to turn your background off, you simply come to the circle with the line through it here on the top left, and you can turn it off. Microsoft has advised that we are going to have the ability to upload our own photographs and backgrounds quite soon, I believe in the end, by the end of June or early July. So that will be good. Okay, so that's just some of the basic functionality of running meetings in Teams. I'm going to hang up now. There we go. And I hope that that has provided you with a little bit more information on how you can make Teams useful, how to use the different facilities available in meetings, and certainly to collaborate and work on files together. Now, in the chat area of today's presentation, if you have any questions about meetings in Microsoft Teams, or if you'd like more information, I'm going to ask Blake to put up there. CTO runs a couple of different training options in Microsoft Teams. The first one is a one-day end user Teams course, and I believe Blake has put the link up there for you to access that course if you'd like to take a look at what's covered in that Teams training. The second Teams option that we have available is the corporate adoption, Teams corporate adoption course. This runs somewhere between 30 and 90 days, depending on the size of your organisation, and provides you with a full framework for adopting Teams across your organisation. Thank you very much for joining us today. For those of us, we're really enjoying presenting these technology webinars for you. For those of you who are interested, next week we will be running a webinar on Power BI, Microsoft Power BI. We hope that you will join us, and feel free to ask us any questions, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks very much, and bye for now.